pleasant. Okay. I am now streaming. My first stream ever where I'm actually going to be working on a painting. I'm actually going to be creating a painting that might be in a show coming up. And it's going to be called Matters of the Art on February 10th. And here in Dallas. And check this out. I have my whole panoply of colors. These are mostly gone. I have like a few drops left that I can use, but I used all my blue from pretty much all my blue, all the blues from my painting. Well, it's done. From my painting Chill. And that was the intention. It was going to be all blue, and it was filled with blue and blue and goopy goop. Goopy goop uses up a lot of paint. Every one of those little Hershey's Kisses, yeah! Every one of those would be, would give, I could paint, a good more than 10% of the whole painting probably with that much paint. And just goop, goop, goop. But that's part of the thing. Let's see how dry they are. Now, almost completely dry. I can still make an indentation. See, I'm the artist, so I can screw it up. Oh, it kind of came back a little bit. But it's not completely dry. It's not super hard, but it's close. That was almost a week ago I did that. Oh, God, I'm feeling so... Oh, there I go again. I'm actually not... That's good when I feel that feeling like I'm too large and I look down and I'm really not that large. That means I am meant to have a flat stomach. By the way, I am doing 100 push-ups a day. No, I just finished 100 push-ups a day for 30 days, and I did it. And I did end up. I need to do the measurements, but I need to find out what my progress was. You can see in the mirror when I look in the mirror with the shirt off. I have a video I have not published yet with the before, and then the after. It's not, still the stomach doesn't look so good, but the chest, it's about as good as I've ever looked. I did do bench press for a while, and I think I was looking about that good, but younger. So actually I look better then. But anyway, okay. So I need to, here I go, I need to put one more, and I also want to check the audio, so I'm just going to turn it up for a moment, make sure it's working. So give me a sec. Oh, let's go to YouTube. Turn the volume up. Yeah. Hello. Hello? Yeah. The audio is fine. Is anybody watching? One person watching. All right. Okay. So somebody's watching. Somebody's watching me. In fact, what I'm going to do is get my phone. I told one friend, actually two friends, to text me if they saw the stream. Looking in that light. By the way, the audio is much better now. Oh, yeah. I'm really glad I resolved that. So maybe I should have those lights on in case it casts a little more light. I'm going to have the phone ready here. You'll hear it. If somebody, I still need to, it's like I'm Michael Jackson the painter instead of the dancer. Tiny dance. Okay, stick to my day job. Which this probably is not. This is a weekend, my weekend hobby as opposed to my, but we'll see what happens. In fact, I haven't set up a Patreon or anything, so this will be the first video and maybe the only video I do when I'm painting where I don't have like a link to a Patreon. I need to do a Patreon. Now that I need to have patrons of the arts, a Patreon page. Okay, so I'm actually using their play on words to play on words, and it just makes it really awkward. Okay, so I'm going to paint now. I'm pretty much ready. The phone should not be like anywhere near the paint, so I'm going to put it all the way over here. And in fact, I should turn it upside down so that if any paint gets on, it'll get on the case, not on the glass. On the other hand, the glass will be easier to clean, so Let's turn it, and then also the main camera lens is on the other side. Okay, so TMI. So here I am. I mean, this is wild. I usually have a video camera, and I always video record all of my paintings. Oh, I can record onto, it's going to go up to YouTube, and I can download that. But if I record on my streaming encoder, it'll record onto my hard drive. So let me do that. I think I can do that. Okay. Says, I thought it would be a big like, okay, are you sure you want to record it, blah, 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 blah. No. And there's 2 people watching. Okay. I really do need to set up like a donation page. Yeah, I'm sure whoever's watching is thinking, okay, yeah, we'd be happy to donate if we see that you actually are painting. But the first thing I'm going to do is I decided this is supposed to be a, it's called Matters of the Art, and it's supposed to be a love-themed Valentine's Day, pre-Valentine's Day art show. And they're accepting some paintings without the love theme, but they prefer to have at least a portion of it. So I'm going to paint that red, if I can find red. Vermilion, maybe vermilion. Vermilion! Or maybe raw umber. I don't think that's really red. I think that's more of a brown or a real dark red. I'm leaning toward a brighter red. There's a crimson red. What I can do, what I was going to do is use my Rick and Morty DVD as my, see, I was at a bar somewhere and someone said I needed to check that out. And I've gone onto YouTube and checked it out, and it's less offensive than I was fearful of, but it's still not exactly my style. But I am weird, and I do like, I do like doing character voices. So, but this is actually wrapped still with the plastic, and I can use that. Now see, there's that, which is the same color, I think, as the nibs when it dries. But that's not quite what I'm looking for, although I might use that somewhere. Maybe in here would be more appropriate. But the black and the red, yeah, this is yellow ochre. They call it yellow ochre, which is interesting. I could mix some stuff. How about mixing raw umber? I don't mix that often. Raw umber, ooh, that does look red-ish. But I think raw umber and vermilion together could be an interesting. Let's see. So here I am. I'm streaming on YouTube. I was going to do Twitch, because I know people do make money doing odd things on Twitch, whereas YouTube, I've never really heard of anything super successful, and YouTube is not as known for streaming. Twitch is known for only streaming. I think it's purely streaming. So people go there to see something live happen, and they go to YouTube to see something that's been created. So generally, so this is really kind of maybe a stupid move. On the other hand, I'm very familiar with YouTube, and I have a lot of affinity for YouTube, and I need, if I can get 1,000 subscribers, by the way, subscribe. And people usually have a special way of saying that. TMI, right on. Mr. Transparent. I think they have had something like that on Saturday Night Live. Okay, that is not coming out the way I wanted it. That's more like a muddy brown. If I needed to show merde. If I needed, by the way, I cannot see any comments. Just to let you know, I guess some people think, that's right, of course, there is a live chat. And if this is successful, that's my excuse, but I have to, getting the monitor up where this light is, and I could do the painting in the recording studio. But then I have the table with all the supplies. Nah, it's better out here. Better for me to somehow get a monitor on a stand, on a little monitor, big enough to read the text, but not super big to be unwieldy, and have the monitor like right to the side of the camera, and then I can actually read Yeah, that, or I'm thinking, could I do it on my, I got an iPad? There's probably a way to Bluetooth it or go to my channel. Yeah, if I go on the iPad to my YouTube channel and then click on this video, I'll not only be able to monitor the streaming, I could see comments. And then just verbally reply rather than having to, you know. Yeah, I could do that. But you know, for this stream, I'll read the comments later. You know, that's basically the way it's going to be. So that is not what I want. That's not going to be, that's muddy. That's merde. Now if I add blue to it, that'll make it probably worse. Anyway, so forget that. I don't know if I'm even going to use that. Crimson red is what I'm going to use. Boom, boom, boom. Says we don't have to worry about mixing any colors. If anything, I'd mix this and vermilion. Try that out. Although I wonder if that would still just get into the muddy. I'll take the raw umber. I think it's that raw umber that really created that situation. The red doesn't look much different than the raw umber. Oh wait, no, that is this. Never mind. I did two separate dollops of red, so wow, it doesn't look much different than the other one because it's the same freaking color. So what I did is I here, let me water. Oh, check this out. Yeah, I think you already saw that. I was going to use that over there. See, that's my undefined line on a mug. That's very appropriate for painting. All right, so here we go. Here is red. We can find out together how this is going to go. Here we go. So this is red, crimson red. This is red and vermilion together, which has sort of, this is in sort of a similar family. And I'm wondering if that would lighten up the red and maybe make it look interesting. It's almost like an orange rust. Well, that's even mixed without totally blending it. Looks pretty cool. I like that. That's what I'm going to use. So here we go. This is the very first actual painting. I'm going to see if I'm still streaming. Just make sure it's still working. Yeah, and I have one watcher. Wow. Well, let me see if anybody's said anything in the chat. I'll check the chat. Oh, wow. Jack. Hey, Jack, are you the person watching? Let me know. Wow. Are you the person watching, Jack? Wow. Anyway, I don't necessarily particularly love the F word. If you could delete the comment and then rewrite it by putting an asterisk, you know, I'm trying to be family friendly. I know I sound like goody two shoes, but that's me. At least with this. Ooh, yeah, 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 yeah. I'm liking it. So there you, it was very, I was going to do a big drum roll and everything, because this is actually something I've thought of for over a month. This moment of doing what I'm doing right now. Actually live streaming and painting. Oh, by the way, Jack, what the F is up? I'm painting. Anyway, and Jack, your name sounds familiar. I'm not sure if I've met you in real life or not, but I do remember your name. I guess you're one of my subscribers. Thank you. Do appreciate that. And I use the F word myself sometimes and whatever, but I don't expect to go back in there and see a new comment without the F word replacing that one. And I can always delete it later if I feel like I need to. It is cool, though, to have somebody making a, you know, a comment on this video. Oh, wait, I was going to actually fill this all in, but I'm wondering, what if we just made the heart inside the heart? That happens, by the way, guys. All the other videos, by the way, I've taken a video of almost all my painting, and I have thoughts about art and new ideas, and I realized the journey that other artists go on. I go, oh, I bet artists sometimes wonder when their painting is finished. Or, oh, I wonder, I'm guessing artists sometimes have that problem deciding what color and blah, 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 blah. And all these things that as an amateur or as a hopeful artist, like somebody who might paint someday, never thought of all this stuff. In fact, I purposely didn't take classes. I didn't want to get other ideas because I have enough ideas of my own, and I figured it'd be more organic and more of a challenge to just start painting by saying, I'm going to go onto Amazon and just search, and hopefully I want someone to say professional grade, or I do this for a living and these paints are up to professional grade. That was a must, without researching heavily to find out what type of paint I needed to use, paint that would last through years and, through the years and whatever. That's kind of cool. This is interesting, the little glop-de-glop on there. Like there's ways of addressing that. Now advanced artists would say, oh, well, what you must do is, and it may actually look better if I were to follow that. But again, I'm trying to be more organic, if you will. Because that's the way I eat. Sorry. I wonder if anyone's actually watching me. This needs to come out a little bit. It'd be easier if I weren't filming this. In fact, sorry guys, but the painting comes before the stream. Just like the lake comes before the stream. Okay. Yeah, my humor is just going to be totally nuttily out there like that sometimes. But those of you who know me knew that already. All right. I'll go look at the chat in a few minutes when I finish each section. See, it'd be easier just to fill it in. But I'm kind of liking this. And I'm thinking, you know what I'm thinking? Goop-de-goops, that's what I call them. Hershey's Kisses or whatever. But have them small, from the small tube around here. That's going to help tie. That's what I've been looking for in this painting. Something I know I wanted yellow in there. I'd like to somehow add blue. I can get little traces of blue. As I mentioned earlier, for those of you just tuning in, right now, okay. I did another painting called Chill, and that one purposely and intentionally, I don't know, I just want to kind of go, There's several ideas. I'm thinking we can put a white strip around, my signature worms. A lot of my paintings, I'll have goop-de-goops, and then I'll have, I guess you could call them worms. And I don't know what I want to do with that. I could also take a razor blade and pry that up, and then paint that white. Sort of leaning in that direction. Let me take a look from a distance. Yeah, it doesn't look right. I don't know. I'm debating whether to leave that in there. It's starting to look, but the fact of mom makes it look like a child's painting, and I can go with that. And it already looks like the circles are not quite right. Now I think the circles are good. They're like wedding rings. That was basically the idea. Not necessarily. I mean, I wasn't thinking, wedding rings. Let me do a circle, and then I'll have another circle intertwining with it. No, I just did a circle. That was it. Goop-de-goops. And I thought, how about an intertwining circle? I don't think I did the goop-de-goops until the end. That's right. And then I thought, and then I guess I was thinking wedding rings. That works. We're not talking about an Oedipus complex here. Thank you. But I'm sure all of you were thinking that. So I'm thinking of fixing that. Taking a razor blade. I mean, I've never pulled up. I've done it while the paint's been wet, but I've never taken a hardened, dried piece and tried prying it up with a razor blade, you know, of course, what might happen. Might rip the painting, as if you hadn't guessed. So this isn't, with good light, this raw umber with the vermilion doesn't look as bad as it did in not so good light. You know, like not so good light. It looks dark, it looks muddier. I really like that. I don't like that, so I'm actually going to try to fix that. And if it doesn't work, I could paint white, and therefore it would retain that. It would retain the raised, it's like love with its blemishes. Love is never perfect. Love has its faults. Love has errors. Love has blemishes. So therefore, I think that might work out well. In fact, you could leave that, but it's just sometimes something that looks kind of like a mistake works as art. Other times it doesn't. For me, that doesn't. And who's the artist? And somebody in the chat says, no, I'll pay $500 for that painting if you do nothing else to it. If you do anything else to it, I will charge you $500 for ruining my painting. That would be funny. Now I go back and, okay, no, come on, don't troll me. It's okay. That's the chance I take, right? I still want to, tempted to pull it up with the razor blade just to see if I can. Be interesting. The other idea, wouldn't do this, is to cut it and pull just the little part off here and leave it. But then you start cutting and you go too far, you just get right into the canvas. But maybe lifting it up and pulling it up. Like these will sometimes, one of my paintings, one of these goopty-goops came off. And what I did, I just went, and then just put another one there and it fixed it. Okay, I like that. I like that. How about, what if I did a heart here, like that? See, some things just see, that's one thing about my art is I never want to be too obvious. I like the yellow. I really am enjoying that idea. That I need to fix though. And is it dry enough now? It probably is dry enough now. I could do that. Otherwise, it's going to come out pink. I really have to wait till that gets really dry. Yeah. And what I could do is do the yellow deals around. Let's do that now so you guys can. Let me check to see if the live stream is still going and if anybody has said anything in chat. Well, it's still weird to see. No change, no extra chat, one watching. All right. C'est la vie. One person's watching. Jack may have already gone away. Nike! But that's why I have gloves. You have to be really careful when you're painting. That's one thing I'm learning. I know I have a yellow. Here it is. I have the yellow over here. Yes, I do. Medium yellow. Medium yellow. It's not as good as the bright yellow that I like working with. But I'm going to try medium yellow. Because I don't have any bright yellow left. Oh, I've used this before. Let's see if it's, yeah, it's still wet enough. Yeah, there are people on Amazon, very small percentage of people who would get this exact set. I got 2 sets and they were both totally fine. But they get them and they're like dried out. They're dried out. All right, so here we go. Obviously, very carefully. I really like, sometimes I have the idea to do something. I don't know how much I like it until you get the idea. I'd love to put my elbow down. I can. This is all dry. That's one good positive about working on a painting in stages as opposed to all in one day. is you can, wow. This, so far, for me, is the rug that is tying the room together. And yes, I use that fairly often. That is from The Big Lebowski. If you don't know what The Big Lebowski is, there's Google is your friend. Google is your friend. Oh, I mean, okay. Well, I'll clean that up in a minute. Or not. I can go to the, how about I go to the Super Bowl party like that today. If I can finish this painting, that'll make it a more celebratory Super Bowl for me. And hopefully you can see this painting live on February 10th. At the art show I'm doing. What happens is sometimes when I do the goop-de, I call it goop-de-goop, is there's bubbles. One way to guard against, I've figured out there's a way you can guard against it by going, just basically like packing, like cigarettes, how people do that with the tobacco. Like when big people smoke, the adults. I think of myself as a kid seeing adults, like these smokers, packing, like hitting the, and I never knew exactly why they did that. But I did at that time, but I understand it now. I guess it's to pack the tobacco so that it burns longer probably, or more strongly, or it doesn't flake. Actually, maybe I don't know why people do that. But I know why I do it with the paint. Okay, that's gotten, but take a look at this. Much better. Oh my gosh. I'm really, like, I'm going to be doing yellow again. Be kind of cool to do a little heart in the O of mom. Okay, let me go check the chat. I'm going to check the chat as opposed to choking the chicken. Oh my God, that's what the neighbors must think. All right, let's check the, nobody's chatting and only one watching. All right. Oh my God, I bet that was funny. All right, here we go. So now the painting is looking better, closer to being done. Needs more, in fact, I'm thinking of my, my signature, you know, just goop-de-goop, goop-de-goop. How about a little green? A little sap green? Like a little, how about just a leaf? How about just like a leaf? Just for no reason. It'll look like an Ari Ross leaf, which will look pretty bad. Because I don't do real life stuff really well. Lettering is lettering, and then the hearts are hearts, you know. But as far as actually something that has detail to it that actually exists in the real world, not so good. That's not my forte. It's not, I don't necessarily even want it to be my forte. Although I do need tissue, I got tissue here. Tissue. Let me get a clean brush. I mean, something that's not even been in the water. Something that's been cleaned already. What I'll do is I'll have that ready. Grab this one that I got from the Nasher. It's the first time I'll be using it. This is, I got this at the Nasher. It's the Sculpture Center. This is obviously, you can see what it is, pencil, paintbrush. In fact, that's not a bad idea. Maybe like doing the leaf. Something like that. It's going to look a little like a heart, too. And then I'm thinking of like, you know how a leaf has what looks kind of like veins? And it'll sort of like be a heart with the, you know, like life and veins and hardship and I don't know. Just like that's the thing about art. Of course it's subjective, but the artist will at least sometimes put his own ideas, his or her own ideas into it. And then that ends up becoming, I'm going to use my really small brush. This, my micro brush, is overall just about the most important brush I have because it's what I've used to do details and I don't have any other brush that does. In fact, I need to get more of these detailed brushes. The only time I've ever done a deal where I've done a pencil test or whatever you call it beforehand is I escaped the internet to paint this. I escaped the opiate of the internet to paint this so as to get all the lettering correctly formatted in perspective so you don't run out of. In fact, I did one whole canvas where I ran out of room. And you could erase it pretty much. It's hard to completely erase the pencil. So I just started on another canvas, and I had the idea from the first pencil test what to do. And if I had just painted, I would have wasted just because I could still use that canvas if I spent some time erasing it or just painting over it white or another color as a background. But I've never done an object with a pencil test. I've never done an object. This is the first time. That didn't come out. Sometimes leaves have, save it rather than, can't beat them, join them, just make it. That doesn't look right. So now I have to either erase it or just go with it. It's like a rocket leaf. It really does not look good. I might just paint over that with white. Here's an example of where I just take a tissue and before it dries fairly quickly here. Is this pretty clean? No, that's not clean water. Get some clean water. Here, so you can really get a good look at the undefined line. Nice thing about this shiny ceramic, it cleans up real nice. This is not, I can't say the same for this. I kind of like where it could end up being something. I mean, it could. That's the thing about art. You kind of go, well, I could erase that and start over. I really want to do a leaf. Well, it's an experiment. See how well this will clean up. And I can paint something else over it. If not white, something else. Some people would say, all right, you've just created some new art there. That's the thing about it, and I'm sure some things happen by accident that way. All right. So we're back to this. Yeah, see, this is some of the bristles have kind of, well, that's why artists sometimes will buy new brushes. Because sometimes the old ones start to get worn. But if you're doing real rough around the edges type art, it doesn't have a whole lot of rhyme or reason, and more or less detailed, then you could probably use it for a lifetime practically. These bristles stay on pretty well when I wash, like when I dip them in water. It'd be interesting just to see what it looks like with a leaf, keeping it just white. I mean, the smarter idea is to do the whole thing green, and then for the veins, do brown, like a raw umber. See, this is what's different between this. It's different from all those other videos where I'm basically doing the same thing as I'm doing now, talking as I'm painting and explaining sort of what I'm thinking. Is nobody has seen those other videos. On my channel, I have two, I think it's two, of those videos, but super speeded up with no audio, none of the original audio. You don't hear me speaking. And you have my music basically as a soundtrack. And like there's this one where it's like 30 hours compacted into 3 minutes. It's really, really obviously very fast. So now, the reason I took so much time on that, because I'm not going to leave that white. Or should I? See, that's two ways I can go. This doesn't matter now, because if I decide not to do this, I'm going to paint the whole thing green and then paint the veins raw umber. If I do decide to keep this like this, then it is what it is. Now, love doesn't necessarily have a lot to do with leaves, but leaves look a little like hearts. It'd be interesting is to have half of it green and half of it red. That's artistic. Or autistic. Oh, that so politically incorrect. I mean, I hate that whole politically incorrect deal that we have nowadays. Like 20 years ago, I could have just said that and nobody would have seen it because there was no YouTube. Ha! But if I'd put it in a film and people saw it, it may or may not get me into some trouble. If I were not to, hopefully, soften the blow of the comment by telling you I realize it was politically incorrect. I'm looking real spastic now. I don't know if that's politically incorrect, because spastic, although it is technically an impairment, it's not used very often other than as an expletive or a derogatory type statement. See, I could either leave that pun not intended actually. Nope. Not quite. Unless I leave it like that and then just paint the in-between. What if I painted it yellow? Then it would start to remind me of that painting I have, which is I escaped the opiate of the internet to paint this. I have something like that where it's like it looks like a leaf and it's yellow. But I have to wait. I would want to wait till that's totally dry. See, so this one thing about this, the common theme about this painting, other than some of my other paintings, is that it's rough around the edges. The whole thing is like a child did it, which is sort of, well, that's what I'm going for. I wonder if anybody else is watching. It begs to be longer. And usually a leaf does have a little thickness at the end. There we go. Very rough around the edges. Yeah. About that. No, I think I'm going to paint that yellow, the in-between yellow, probably with the same brush. In fact, I better put it in the water right now. Boom. I'm going to put this over here. It's easier even though you can't see it now. Can you see it if I put it? I don't want to knock it over. Put it here. Probably not. Okay, I'm going to go check my chat. I'm thinking of stopping the stream and taking a break. I don't really need any food, though. It is Super Bowl Sunday. I want to check out what time the game starts. I do have a party to go to at the Bomb Factory. Okay, so now anybody watching this knows where I'm going to be. In Cincinnati, Ohio. All right, I'm going to check. I may or may not stop the stream. Anybody else watching? No, still just says one watching. Nobody else watching. The lighting's good. Oh, it looks good in the, now it's interesting. It's interesting, guys. Looking at the screen, like on screen, that leaf looks much better than it does in person. I like the leaf. The leaf works. I'm going to go actually look. I'm thinking of looking at the screen again to get an idea of what to do next. It's a very strange thing. Yeah. It needs. Around the edges, it needs. Well, I was thinking of doing another painting where I say something like, heart is the answer. Or I could go like, love. How about love does not suck? I just thought of that. That would be very for younger people. Except when it does. Well, I could go both ways. I meant it to be sexually provocative, but you could also mean like, love is great until things go. So that could be a really provocative, yet also truthful painting. Love does not suck, and then parentheses, except when it does. That's a lot of printing. You know, that takes a long time to paint letters so they look halfway decent. If I had a template and I could just take the, take a letter and then just go and paint over it and do it like a template type thing, that could work. But it's sort of like cheating. But then again, art is what it is. It needs more. I like the idea. I was thinking of doing hearts all around the outside, but you could do like, how about a few goop-de-goop hearts with the, like, how about this one? There are some, see, I have these larger, I'm used to these. I've been using these for a longer time. Now here's like orange, like this, there's no orange with these. There's only, is it 6? So it's like yellow, cobalt, no, there's 12. There's 12 separate ones of these, but there are more of these, 24 of these. So they have the in-between. I don't think an orange heart would really be correct. More like, ooh, what's this? Oh, crimson red. I thought it said rose. Scarlet. Oh, scarlet. Oh, see, that just speaks to me. Yeah. Scarlet. Here we go. I think I could do a part 1 and a part 2. Yeah, so I can break it up. So this is the end of part 1. I'm going to stop the stream, get a little something to eat, check the time of the Super Bowl, then start. I will start part 2, which will have me doing a goop-de-goop heart. But I'm thinking I'm going to make something like a heart that's not the way hearts are normally made. That'll give me time. Be back in 5 or 10 minutes, for those of you who are watching. One person, or 0. Later. End of part 1.